We have Republican State Representative Marcus Richmond. He's also the majority leader in the House of Representatives. Marcus, welcome back to the program, sir.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate being asked to come back.
Yes, sir. You're always welcome. And listen, I just wanted to have you on. Number one, I want to talk about your race for re-election. I know the Democrats fielded an opponent for you, and I know that the people of District 21 are pleased with your service, your representation. What do you feel like the values are? What are the issues that are important to the voters of District 21 this time around?
Well, it remains very consistent out here. Actually, again, I would say that probably roads have become an issue that is talked about more now than it has in the past, simply because out here in this part of the state, what used to be paved roads are quickly being turned into gravel roads again, and it needs to be addressed. And we have issues where, I know 2 times, and might have happened 3 times, and just recently, again, a school bus taking a football team back over to Pottsville after playing Walden. They had their mirrors taken off on one of the bridges on Highway 80, and those, when they passed a bigger truck, and one of these days, it's not going to be just the mirrors. We've got to do something about that.
Yeah. So just on that, I mean, there's a lot of people been talking for the last couple of years about, how do we do this highway funding? I mean, how do we get the funding for roads that the state does need? I mean, do we need to shrink the size of government other places to find the money to pay for our roads?
Well, I think we've got to look at everything, and see that's been the issue in the past, in my opinion, is that the starting point is we're going to raise taxes over here, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that, and frankly, you're handed that, and it hasn't worked. I mean, we have balked at passing that, and of course, the argument is always that, well, let's go ahead and pass it to the people and let them make a decision on it. And that may happen again. That may be what happens here. But me personally, if we're going to do that, then let's put on our big boy pants and let's go ahead and vote on it now, so that we can go ahead and take care of it. And whatever solution we come up with, if the people don't like it, then they can go ahead and voice that. But I would hope that we take a look at the ability to use existing revenue. That is part of the solution. It may not be all of the solution, but again, let's don't go straight to, hey, we're going to raise this tax, or we're going to do that tax, or whatever else. Let's have a process, and let's have an understanding through all of us in the House, and that's one of the big things that pushed forward. And luckily, it's been more receptive this time than maybe in the past. I don't know. I wasn't in leadership in the past, but there seems to be more of a willingness to get us involved. When I'm talking at the House of Representatives, specifically the Republican caucus, more involved in the process.
Yeah.
About how we're going to get to where we need to be in order to take care of these things.
I think what I would say is, I would encourage you guys to be creative. And what I mean by that is, it's, asking the people for more money is obviously, that's been done. We've been there, done that. I mean, that's what every government, that's always on the table. Maybe there's some other ideas out there. And so I would encourage people to think outside the box and not necessarily go to that knee-jerk, we got to get more money from the people. Let's see what else is out there. So. Well,
yeah, and again, I think that has to be the process, because if we do have to go to the people at some point and say, listen, we can't get there from here because of these reasons, then I want to have some solid reasons that says we can't get here from there. Instead of going, well, geez, we don't think we can get there, or, maybe we could, but we didn't really take a hard look at it. Let's go through the whole process, and let's make a decision then based on the facts of what we have. I mean, when I first showed up in 2015, I voted for what I thought was a reasonable way to address the revenue situation. It wasn't going to cure everything, but it was a beginning, and that was, taking revenue that was associated with highway use and that type of stuff, and moving it and using it for our roads. Well,
yeah.
Of course, that does do a hit on the general revenue, but we had provided additional funds that had come from, the gas and those type of wells and things. That revenue was going to go in and help fill some of the holes to, like, the community colleges and everything. Well, the education mafia, or whatever you want to call the people down in Little Rock. It's not your teachers and everybody, but it's the folks in Little Rock. They put on so much pressure that they killed that idea. It just it got killed, and it didn't move forward. Well, we've got to do a better job and be better prepared this time around to defend whatever it is that we come up with.
We're talking with State Representative Marcus Richmond. He's a Republican for state representative, or for District 21. He's state representative. Marcus, what do you think about the importance of these midterm elections? What do you think about what's going on nationally? What do you think about the direction of the country?
Well, I tell you, a lot of people, I would say, when I go around and I knock on doors, one of the first things I'm asked is if I'm a Republican or Democrat. And when I say Republican, everybody goes, well, thank goodness, because I'm not voting for a Democrat. And I've had two occasions where it was the opposite of that, out of all the doors I knocked on. Now, you got to understand, in my district, most people knock on 200 doors a day. I drive 200 miles a day when I go door knocking. Mm-hmm. And with those door knockings and stuff that we've had, again, only two. One of those guys was, he gave me a good cussing, and I just told him that, because I was Republican, and my response was, yeah, I understand your anger. Bottom line is, higher wages, lower taxes, lower unemployment. Geez, it really sucks when you make socialism look so stupid. And then he gave me some more cussing, but that was okay. I got my point across, and that's fine. I mean, it's going to take more than that to bother me. But we've got to, on these midterm elections, we have to try to hold on to that house up there. Because otherwise, all it's going to be is an obstructionist movement, all the progress and things. And I'm telling you, I think Trump has done a good job. He's gone up there and he's done what he said he was going to do, and that's why they're all so upset. Here's a guy that actually, comes out of nowhere and starts making a difference. He's doing the things that the people want him to do, and that really bothers the establishment up there, and that really bothers the other party. And so all they're going to do is just keep throwing fastballs at him, trying to hit him in the head. They're not going to throw it over the plate where it's fair. And we will have, the remainder of the time that he's in office, we will get nothing done. And they love that. The other side loves that. They like the status quo. It's wonderful. I mean, they just keep, picking and going for power, because it's not about you and me out here, especially in flyover country. It's about how much power they can consolidate.
Yeah.
And that's disgusting to most average Americans that live out here that have the values that you and I have.
Let me ask you this. Can you imagine, in 2010 you had the Tea Party, and, you had people claiming that the Tea Party was this or that, and they were bogus claims. They would leave parks cleaner than when they found them, when they showed up for these rallies. They were peacefully protesting. If the Tea Party had acted the way the left is acting now, I mean, they wouldn't even be relevant. They would be rejected. The media would cover it appropriately, would cover the actual violence, and it would be a big deal. But apparently the mob mentality on the left is not a big deal because it's anti-Trump.
That's it. It's totally accepted, and the Tea Party, if they'd have been doing what this mob is doing now, the media would not have only been covering it appropriately, they would have been covering it gleefully. It would have excited them. I mean, even now, you take a look at anything that they can drum up, they will twist. I've never seen a more discredited group than what we have as far as our our media now. They don't even pretend anymore, and it's a situation where you better, and this is a problem, because a lot of people, they just watch that television and they believe what they see, or they get on Facebook and they believe what they see. You've got to dig in. You've got to do research. You've got to find out what is truly going on. And I don't care, even if, I watch Fox News most of the time, but I still dig in. I don't want just a one-sided point of view. I want it all. And I think Fox probably presents a better balance than anybody. But it's tilted. There's no doubt about it. It just happens to be tilted the direction I like to go. But I want to know what else, because we can't make good decisions and we can't, vote for the right person if we don't have a better understanding of what they stand for.
It's very well said. State Representative Marcus Richmond, I so appreciate you coming on the program. I wish you the best of luck and victory over your Democrat opponent. And I really appreciate your comments this morning. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate it, Paul. You guys have a great day, and everybody stay careful out there.
All righty. Thank you, sir. State Representative Marcus Richmond, everybody.